Hey, I'm Alex Racker from Board Game Co. And today I'm over at the Gamefound offices. Apologies for the echo that we have, but I'm getting a bit of a guided tour from Marcin from Awakened Realms. We're going to be going through the offices, showing you what's going on at Gamefound. At the end of the day, Gamefound has been doing a ton, and I work at Gamefound, take that into account, but they've been doing a ton of crowdfunding for a while now, and just it's a lot larger and a lot more going on behind the scenes than you might expect. And we have Marcin over here.
Surprise opening the doors.
Good morning, Marcin. How's it going?
Hello.
Good evening. Afternoon.
Nice.
Depends on where you are.
Yeah, it's afternoon.
Yeah.
Let's show our beautiful logotype door. Hi, hello everyone. So a quick, very quick tour of the Gamefound offices. We got Alex here, right, our new CMO. So we kind of also wanted to bring a small tour around kind of our offices, show you our team and basically what we're working on.
Now this was a bit of an after-hours tour, which means less people to talk to, so you will have me here throughout the video to fill in the gaps of what the departments do and talk about various other aspects of Gamefound as we go through the offices.
Just start with the beautiful Halloween still, kind of like a chill zone, kind of like a place, meeting place or whatnot, which is just like a basic sit down, kind of talk area. And then, as you can see, maybe kind of going back, because this is also important, because we have this kind of special golden brackets for the top 3 campaigns on Gamefound, which is actually, there should be Kings of Ruin here, taking out Castles of Burgundy, and might be some changes soon as well.
Obligatory plug here that Gamefound is an all-in-one system. From pledge manager, marketing, crowdfunding, it takes care of the entire project of a game's creation, of a game's lifecycle from start to finish, managing everything. There's a reason 3 out of the top 10 campaigns, both in 2021 and in 2022, 3 out of the top 10 most funded crowdfunding games have been on Gamefound. We have a host of things lined up for 2022, well, 2023 I guess, and a lot of fun projects that we'll be announcing, but there's a lot going on here.
But also throughout the office there are like the kind of like biggest campaigns on Gamefound, as you can see on different places. There's like Robinson Crusoe there, Wild Sand and so forth, right? So we'll start with the Maciej's office and the special golfing equipment. As you can see, serious work. So this is like the office of Maciej and standing office for Alex.
This is where I'm set up over here, getting all my fun stuff done while I'm here and not filming.
Yes, indeed. And sure, so Maciej is our chief operation.
Now Maciej is COO, Chief Operating Officer, and not unlike my last job where I was COO, it basically means that you're the person everyone turns to for everything else. You have your job responsibilities, but you're also kind of take care of a little bit of everything, having your hand in every pot, making sure things are running smoothly, and just making sure everyone is doing what they need to do. As CMO, as Chief Marketing Officer, I work closely with them on a day-to-day, and this is actually a good time to talk about. One of the things I haven't really talked about heavily on the channel is what I do for Gamefound. But I'm CMO, I'm Chief Marketing Officer. That means I do a lot of things, but one of those things is I manage our outreach team. I manage the process of working with creators. I've said before on the channel, if you're a creator, if you're trying to use Gamefound for a project, you can go through our regular systems, our tools, you can sign up in the back end. You can also reach out to me. I have my email in every single video now, at the very bottom over there. You can reach out to me for any help, questions, or assistance and all that. It's our job to continue to talk to creators, to talk about the benefits of the platform, to show them the data behind it. We work closely with marketing, work closely with our in-house analytics and all those things. Gamefound has done a tremendous job at growing the past 2 years and continuing to do well in the space, but at the end of the day, there's still a lot of creators on Kickstarter, and there's understandably always reasons why people are nervous about leaving Kickstarter. Is it worth that? Is it worth the jump? Are you going to lose or gain? Is a better system worth the potential drop in the number of people, and how will it all play out? And I'm there to have those conversations, not to convince somebody that they should use a platform that's wrong for them. I will tell you if or when I think Gamefound is not the right fit for your project, but rather to go over the data, to go over the numbers, and to show you, like I said, even just those things earlier mentioned that, Gamefound has 3 out of the top 10 campaigns in tabletop crowdfunding the past 2 years. That's something that not a lot of people know or realize. It's easy to kind of just see Kickstarter and see Gamefound and not realize how far and how fast we've come, and I'm there to have those conversations and to help you make the choice that's right for you.
Here we have a room for a key account manager, so people who help with campaigns.
Now, key account managers are a huge backbone of Gamefound. The very nature of, like, I mean, as Gamefound, you're basically running projects for people. That's what we're doing. We're helping you run your project. In addition to the whole CMO aspect of getting people in the door, but once you're in the door, you have to actually have a successful project, which means you have to work together with somebody. Now, whether you're working together, whether you're working with our pledge manager, whether you're working with a full crowdfunding campaign, we have people that are there to help guide you through things. The system will get you up and running to a large degree, but you need someone to reach out to when something goes wrong. You need someone to reach out to when you don't understand how to do this, that, or the other. You need someone to guide you and give you advice on what things you can do better on your crowdfunding page when you're trying to launch your project. And so that's the human element behind the wall. We have key account managers here. One thing we won't see throughout this video, but there are a lot of remote employees as well. In order to make sure we have people in different time zones, different access, different whatever, we want to make sure that everyone is available. And so there are a bunch of people both here within the Gamefound offices, as well as in various places in the UK, in America. We have a bunch of people all over the world to help people run their projects as efficiently as possible and to be your resource when you need help.
One thing that's important to know is like pretty late hour, so not everyone is here, but Alex will be here for a few days, so he will do some awesome B-rolls.
B-roll, slicing and B-roll of all the stuff. I did not slice in the B-roll. I'm sorry. My first few days at Gamefound, I was doing great. People kept asking me, jet lag, how's your jet lag? And I was like, what jet lag? I'm getting up at 8 in the morning. I'm going to bed at, what time? I'm staying in the office from 8 to 6, doing a job, making sure everything gets done. My last day at Gamefound, which was the day I was supposed to film all the B-roll, the jet lag caught up to me, and I woke up in a panic 3 hours late to work and trying to figure out how to fit everything I was trying to do that last day into 3 less hours. The B-roll got cut.
Yes, it did. Here is our financial department, one-man army. It's actually, again, more people. We have Chief Financial Officer, so he's taking care of majority of the stuff, but also has a full team. It's currently, Nadia.
The financial department handles a whole bunch of things, including and more than, installment payments, which is something we're going to have coming up. We're going to be talking about that in additional upcoming features. We have taxes, VAT, all the things involved in crowdfunding from behind the scenes, how anything works in terms of the general platform, how a refund works, how these things apply. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes into running the financial department of, the behind the scenes of Gamefound. That means, in general, a lot of this video is going to be covering the fact that there's just things that happen behind the scenes that you never really think about. As a backer, you hit back project. As a creator, you might work with key account managers, maybe a bit with outreach or marketing, but there's always going to be departments and departments of people keeping the platform running that you just never really get to see.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. We want to go right or left?
Let's go right.
Right. Okay. So most important place for the I don't know what's the English word for this one.
Foosball. Foosball.
Football?
I think so. I think it's foosball, right? Like with an S, not football. Foosball, I think.
Alright, so we're not the experts here. Here's the room for the data analysis and kind of community. So we get Gregor, and then also there's like all the analytics and everyone is. And loads of Ragnar miniatures.
Analytics is a huge part of, everything. It helps me do my job better. It helps give me the tools and the information I need, especially as someone who's working with creators who are trying to decide whether to use Gamefound. Having the data behind the scenes, what's the conversion rate, what the follower to backer ratio is, having all these tools and information, even just that 3 out of 10 thing I mentioned, having the most funded. Our analytics takes a look at both our own numbers as well as crowdfunding in general to be able to talk confidently, both internally to make sure we're doing our job, to see the impact of changes, and to be able to talk to creators and show them the numbers, information, and things that they need to see to know that Gamefound's the right tool for them.
Perfect. Alright, let's go for here we have like a marketing division, including graphical artists working on the kind of like commercial, let's say, Maverick team. With beautiful design. This is the quality level. This is the quality that you can expect from our graphical division. Alright, and this is the second part of our marketing division, which is much more Excel based, number based, and basically, just working on kind of like generally reaching out to campaigns.
Now, marketing is kind of two different things within Gamefound. And again, as CMO, I'm Chief Marketing Officer, and I work very heavily together with the marketing team, but I have some people who work directly underneath me and some people I work with. And some of that's just the different nature of the fact that as Gamefound, we're both doing marketing ourselves to be able to attract more people to the platform and to help them choose Gamefound as their next tabletop crowdfunding platform. But then also we're working directly with creators. Like I mentioned already, we are an all-in-one platform, and that does mean that we have everything you need. We are a pledge manager, we are a crowdfunding campaign, and we also have marketing for you. We help make sure your project is a success, whether you're working directly with us as a pledge manager, or even if you're working on Kickstarter or on some other platform, BackerKit or whatnot. If you want to use our tools to be able to help you market your project, we have those teams at hand. And so we will help you, guide you through, how to get the highest degree of ROAS, the return on ad spend on your Facebook advertising, on your Google advertising. We'll help you work internally in terms of the banner ads, the placements, and making sure that you're getting as much exposure on your project as possible, while working with you as far as the graphics as well, using your assets, trying to figure out what will work, A/B testing, what's going to have the highest return. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Again, every time you as a backer see a Facebook ad about some project that's 750% funded over on Gamefound, and you want to click through to it, someone had to put that together. Someone had to make that happen. Someone had to give you that incentive to be able to see what else is out there, in case you're not already subscribed to your favorite YouTube channels who are telling you all about the crowdfunding campaigns.
Yes. Don't show the secret plans in here.
Secret plans.
Yes, secret plans in here. And here behind your back, we got our HR division.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Alright. Beautiful office.
Yes.
Alright.
Gamefound has grown rapidly in the past 2 years, starting out as an in-house pledge manager for Awakened Realms, moving from there to being a free pledge manager for a ton of creators, and then now moving into crowdfunding. The general growth of the employees, of the numbers, of everything behind the scenes has been huge, and that does mean you need a HR to keep up. Combined with the investment from Ravensburger and the general, just the constant growth of everything going on here, HR keeps a lot of things running. They make sure everything's done. Everything, again, behind the scenes stuff. Anything from an About Us photo to managing anything from internal paperwork, making sure employees get paid, dealing with employees in different continents. There's a lot of things that go on that do need, with the size of again, you're not seeing all of this with the lack of B-roll and the late hours, but the size of Gamefound, the amount of employees we have, we need a dedicated HR team.
Alright, let's go to the creme de la creme. Technical side of the building, where
I believe the term I've been told twice today is where the magic happens.
or slowly happens. Alright, so just from like a kitchen, just like a small kitchen.
I think when he said where the magic happens, he meant development, but I assumed coffee.
Yeah, coffee is actually the most important one, yes. This is like also some nice arts. You can see like ISS Vanguard. So some kind of campaigns that were on Gamefound. And it's just like also some board games. I would say that one thing that we have in common with a lot of probably Gamefound users is like a lot of games are still in shrink.
Selfie stacker.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, but we'll kind of like them. Here we have QA division, so testing the website. Whether so basically if something does not work on Gamefound, that's their fault. But everything is working so far perfectly, so thanks to all their hard work.
And now we start moving to the meat of all the fun things that actually make Gamefound Gamefound. The QA team is going to be the behind the scenes that makes sure everything you see has gone through QA, quality assurance, making sure that whatever development we've been doing, whatever new features we're putting in place, that making sure that it works, that it's tested on different browsers, on different platforms, that everything works, looks, and operates the way it's supposed to. They're the ones that are making sure that the feature that started off as a good idea is actually something that works on your system to deliver the results we want.
Here's the office for the HR as well, like a 1-minute meeting office. Normally here sits the compliance team.
Currently empty offices aside, the compliance team is there to make sure that Gamefound is a safe platform for you. Behind the scenes, we do have every creator looked into. Every creator who uses the platform, we have a compliance team that looks into how have their previous projects done, how is the company's stability, what is going on behind the scenes. We turn down companies, we turn down projects, we say no to people who we think represent a a lack of the safety we want for our users. You don't always see that behind the scenes. In fact, I would say you rarely, if ever, see that behind the scenes. But there are many companies that we just are not confident enough in that we either want them to, deliver another campaign first, show more longevity in the system, have updates and show follow through on their other campaigns. There are often times behind the scenes where we won't work with the creators until their actual communication on past campaigns is at a point that we want to see. We're not looking for someone to just use Gamefound just for the sake of using Gamefound. We want Gamefound to be a platform and a system that you can trust. I've talked past about the concept of like stable pledge and things like that will give you, the backer, more tools to be confident in the platform and crowdfunding in general. And that does mean that we have a full compliance team that looks into ensuring that any creator who works with us does represent someone that we think will deliver on their project. It's not a guarantee, it never can be, but it means that we believe that they represent the best possible safety for you.
Here is our project management and graphic design team. Or graphic design, do you call it, right?
Yeah. UX and UI.
UX and UI plus, as Martin told, like the geniuses of project design.
Of course.
UX and UI, user experience and user interface. This is the difference right here between an idea that sounds good in theory to the actual execution of how you as the user go through that. Are the filters where you'd expect them to be? Is the general design pleasing to just be able to go through? Is everything in the places you want them to be? Does everything make sense? Does the flow from one system to another, from one screen to another, does it all work for you? There's a huge difference between a great idea that actually in theory does something and works versus your ability to interact with that in a way that is intuitive, that makes sense. That just is, it's the difference between a good idea and the execution of it.
And then we have our Chief Technology Officer, Simon, who's single-handedly providing features during the weekend.
Yes. Weekends only.
Yes, weekends only. Yes, but generally, yes, he's taking care of all the technical side, feature side, and so on. And here we got development team, almost full. And yeah, this is where what happens, Alex.
I love how it fits the idea that you have like this late hour and half the people aren't here, but QA and development team are still working.
Yeah, I mean this actually showcases like who's actually working.
And who's this? Is this Wilson?
Exactly. So everyone, I don't know. That's a good question. But everyone who's here is like employee of the month, and that's stuff like that. So.
And last but not least, development. Development is going to represent, well, everything. Everything that makes Gamefound Gamefound. This is one of the things that does make Gamefound Gamefound, which is I'm in meetings every single week. Every single Tuesday morning for 2.5 hours, I'm in meetings talking about what the development queue has been for that past week. Talking about what features are upcoming, what features are being added. We are constantly adding to what Gamefound is. It is never a thing that's static. It is constantly having additions. It's constantly having fun things being added. Well, sometimes they're fun, sometimes they're not fun. Sometimes there's a bug that's being cleaned up. Sometimes it's a user experience thing. Sometimes it's a little bit more as far as user notifications. One of the fun things we'll have upcoming is, installment payments. We have anything from... There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Things that will help backers, things that will help creators, and things that just generally make the experience better across the board. There's a reason, as someone who talks about Gamefound with creators, it's a frequent occurrence to me that someone says, well, I don't like this, and they try to show me, and they're like, well, actually, that's not a problem anymore. It's true. It's because we're pushing out updates every single week. Every single week there are changes and improvements to the platform. Depending on who you are, you may not notice that one week to the next, but eventually over time you will see the differences because we are never happy with the status quo of Gamefound. We want Gamefound to be the best platform in the tabletop space. That is the goal that Gamefound was brought to the table with, and it's the goal that has continued to drive Gamefound as we continue to go through things. We have active development every single week. It's a huge part of what makes Gamefound Gamefound and why we will never be the same platform this month as we were the last month. We'll always be improving your experience to make it the best possible platform in the space.
All right. So that'll be it, pretty much, right? Which is, still it's quite a big team. But one thing that is really cool is that we already got the pipeline going with this is basically the size of the team that we wanted. And now you can expect a lot of things into the future. So yeah, we're actually thinking about a lot of new exciting things, and Alex will probably communicate some of those to you as well, the most important ones. We don't want any spoilers today, right?
No. We'll figure out the spoilers later and figure out what we want to put in this after. But But yeah, I mean, that's basically the tour of the offices. I got this on the way in over here. The whole place is much larger than, well, much larger than I expected necessarily originally, but I mean, Gamefound actually has a whole lot of things going on, a whole lot of development things in the cycle, and multiple product teams developing consistent development week after week, continuously new features. It's not the same platform every single week. There's continuous updates, continuous adjustments. In addition to the fact that you're managing actual projects, you're also managing the accounts behind those projects, you're managing the development behind those, the QA behind those, what goes into the teams, the marketing. It's an entire all-in-one platform, from everything from pre-launch to the campaign itself, to post-launch, to pledge manager, the entire market lifecycle for any campaign. And that means a whole lot of teams managing a whole lot of facets of every single project. I'll figure out what gets spliced into here as far as the rest of the video and all those things after. That's the whole fun B-roll part. But other than that, Marcin, thank you so much for the tour. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And until next time, I'll see you later.